Hey, it's Scott Barrett and you're listening to another episode of The Burning Truth with a man that is a true inspiration and proof that anyone can succeed without having any idea what they're doing. It's Matt Burns, everybody!
I like it. I don't care. I'm taking that. That's a compliment. I'm taking that one.
How are you, Matt? You okay?
Loving it.
How's it going? Good week?
It's been a bit of a mix, a few aches and pains. I've had to pay a bit of a visit to a doctor to get checked out.
I can see you've got your wrist wrapped up.
And don't go there.
We won't say anything about that.
But you're okay.
You're okay is the answer.
Yes, I'm okay. It's just a bit of muscle.
A bit of a strain.
Bit of strain.
A bit of strain.
That's what I'm just sticking with.
Yeah.
Keeping it clean. Keeping it clean.
Absolutely. So good week overall, I think. I think we've both been a bit under the weather the last couple of weeks. I certainly felt it last week as the weather changes. And if you're flooded at the moment, our feelings go out to you because it's been awful round here with the weather over this weekend.
No kidding. Were you lucky enough to stay indoors? Or were you silly enough to be me?
No, I was out, yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was driving. Well, I had to go out driving for a short stint. Just from going to the vehicle, from the house to the vehicle, I got in and I was like, what the hell?
Drenched.
Drowned. It was more like it.
Yeah,
I sat there, thought to myself, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden the thunder come crashing down, and this is how close it felt. The fact that the vehicle I was in, I felt it reverberate from the back of the vehicle all the way through the vehicle, all the way to the front.
Wow. And I've got two little boys, right? So we had a power out while we were at home, while the thunder and lightning was all going on. Yeah, so we have a power out. So I've got a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. I don't know if you understand this, but keeping them occupied without the internet in 2024, difficult task, man. Everything needs the internet. So I caned him at Monopoly, and that's how it went.
Who flipped the table?
Nobody flipped the table. I just caned him.
No. I'm sorry. That's not when Monopoly ends. Everyone knows that Monopoly only ends when a table is flipped.
If they flip the table, there would be big trouble. I'm the only one that does any table flipping, and I was winning, so we're okay. Scotty Dog wins again. Oof. That's not a nickname. That's what character I play in the Monopoly.
Ah, so you're always the little dog?
Yeah, absolutely. The Scotty Dog, every time.
Ah, fair enough. I always go for the top hat.
The top hat.
The top hat.
Leave us a comment, a like, or a review. What's your favourite Monopoly counter? I feel like we're getting too far away from the topic.
We're going way too far. But then again, we could always reel it back because we could always eventually start buying that, the WWE Monopoly.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got the WWE Monopoly at home. And that's what we're here for today. We're here to press our cough buttons, Matt Burns.
I thought I'd be fine for it this week.
But more than anything, we're here to give you our take on this week's wrestling. And we always start with the news!
So just sit tight, don't blow a fuse, because now it's time for this week's news.
Okay, here we go. It's the news.
It's the news, of course, everybody.
The NOOWS, the news.
The news.
Wow. And what's in this week's wrestling news, Matt Burns? Well, let's talk about Miro, the former Rusev. What's going on with Miro?
Yeah, that I am quite surprised at the fact that he's, he's able to stream Twitch and everything, do his gaming, and he's had a good run in AEW at the time when he was around. He hasn't been around for a bit. They haven't got anything for him, and he's decided to just go, I want to leave.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right thing for Rusev, though, yeah? Miro, if you like.
Yeah.
I think released from AEW, they're not using him very well. I don't think, have they ever used him very well?
The problem that they got is when he first arrived, he didn't have a great start. And it was just bad luck. And it was. They had an angle for him a little bit, but then it sort of just felt... I think the reason why they took him off is because the last angle that he had felt as though it creeping back to almost the same as what he did in WWE.
Right, okay.
And I'm just wondering if they would just thought, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not copying him. The only problem is, in doing that, they just decided to put him on the shelf and just forget he was there.
So he's requested his release. Rightly so, I think.
Yeah.
Would he go back to WWE? Can you see Miro Rusev back in WWE?
Possibly. But I don't think he'd actually be on the main roster.
No, I don't know what they do with him at this point.
I think aim more NXT. And that's not a dig at him or saying he's worse or anything. I think he'd actually be able to give a lot for NXT and help some of them, certain individuals, raise that bar.
I suppose for me, he's 38 years old, right? That's not that old for a professional wrestler these days. You know, we're talking AJ Styles is what? Well into his 40s by now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not that old for a wrestler. I don't know, I just think there's so much left in the Rusev character, the Miro character.
Yeah, and I feel as though he could go back to WWE. He could. But I think he'd be far better if he actually went on to the full independence.
Oh, right, okay.
To sink his teeth into it.
GCW, Impact maybe.
Well, GCW would be a good one. You know, game changer wrestling.
Yeah.
He's a gamer.
Oh, okay. Maybe something for Japan as well.
Yeah.
Maybe could go over and do a decent
run there.
Decent run there.
He'd have fun there, definitely. But the thing is, regardless of wherever he goes, I think he would get over. He'd do well.
Yeah, I like him. I think there's some good talent, untapped potential. I always think back to the WrestleMania match with John Cena.
Yes.
You know, that's peak Rusev for me. I didn't really get the Rusev Day bit.
I love that.
But you know, I think definitely so much untapped potential as a heel beast.
To be honest with you, as a heel beast, yeah, I get where you're coming from. The problem is the Rusev Day. I absolutely loved it. The problem that the reason why you might not have loved it or anything is because WWE weren't pushing it or backing it. It was
I don't think it was a lack of push. I just didn't think I got it. So when people said, "Oh, they need to push Rusev Day," I'm like, "Why?" Like I thought it was at its peak with Rusev, Lana, you know, being the foreign invaders. I thought that was the best version for me.
No. I'm not saying it was as worse or anything or best. I just feel as though, for me, it's always good to have two coins, two sides of a coin, because you've got your side, which was the heel side, which was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Then you also got that flip side of him doing the whole Rusev Day and everything. The only problem, and this is where I feel as though where it comes from, is it was massively over. The problem that they had is after it is he could turn back heel. Right, okay. If he was going to ever go back face, what else could he do other than Rusev Day that would get over or pushed
Yeah.
further? They didn't have that next step for him.
And worst thing Rusev did? League of Nations?
Oh no, I can think of a worse one.
Really?
But I don't think we can say it on the air.
Okay.
I don't think we can say it on the air. All I'll say is it involves Lana and Bobby Lashley.
Wow, yes, true story. Okay, let's talk about Kenny Omega. What's going on with Kenny this week?
Yeah, Kenny Omega, it seems to be he's getting some training in and everything, but he's not ready for a full-time return back. So at the same time, he's doing a bit of gaming as well, of course, which also leads into a bit of a nice segue.
Okay.
Straight away, because even though he says he's not ready, he's doing a bit of gaming. All of a sudden, he's playing. You know, he sees a bit of an announcement of a certain game series called Like a Dragon.
Okay.
Formerly also known as Yakuza.
Okay.
As he looks at it, he recognises one individual. Samoa Joe.
Oh, right, so Samoa Joe's in the game.
He's actually in the game, and I've actually seen the graphic of him. Top notch. Looks like him, definitely.
Looks like the business.
Oh, he looks the bee's knees.
Samoa Joe, man. Who'd have thought 2024 was the year where Samoa Joe branched out? Because isn't he in the Twisted Metal series as well? They're doing a second series of Twisted Metal.
Only physically.
Yeah.
Only physically. He's not actually the voice of it. He's the body of Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, so we've got Sweet Tooth and Twisted Metal. He's a character in For the Dragon.
Like a Dragon.
Like a Dragon.
Slash Yakuza series.
Yeah, so there you go. He's in loads of things. So that's Kenny Omega and Samoa Joe. Lovely. But what we're saying is Samoa Joe, badass. Kenny Omega, still not fit to complete.
Not yet.
Okay, let's move on to some WWE news then. There's been all AEW so far in the news. Can you believe that?
Oh, I know. It's a bit of a shocker.
So SmackDown this week announced that it will be 3 hours for the first half of 2025. So we're expecting Monday Night Raw to go back to 3 hours once it launches on Netflix.
Yep.
Now we're also expecting that SmackDown will go to 3 hours, for the first half of 2025. We're not expecting it to be extended past that date at this point, although it could.
No, it's not, because they've already revealed that it will be reverting back.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just trying to figure out why they're doing this, that extra hour for that short amount of time. But I feel as though it could be a bit of a test and play. Which, the good thing about it is, I'm wondering if the network that's currently doing it with SmackDown is
USA,
USA is probably doing it for an extension, because at the same time, could that be them trying to acquire a link with Netflix themselves?
Maybe. I think it's more than. I think it's unrelated to that. I think what it actually is USA's had Raw for 3 hours on Mondays for the last God knows how many years now, at least 5 years, maybe longer. In fact, it has been longer. It's been 3 hours for nearly 10 years now, probably.
Yeah.
And with saying that, taking SmackDown to 3 hours under the USA banner doesn't shock me, because USA have proven that they can sell advertising for WWE.
Yeah.
For 3 hour shows. Friday night, 3 hours. It's not exactly prime real estate. I mean, it's prime time, so it's prime time on a Friday. But let's be honest, as we go into the summer, who's going to be sitting at home on a Friday night watching wrestling?
Yeah.
It's going
to struggle potentially.
So I think we'll wait and see. But I don't think struggle, because wrestling's got a loyal audience.
But it all depends on where they fit that extra hour. Are they fitting in after, or are they going to be starting the show early?
Yeah, and that's what we don't know.
If they start it early, I think that'd be the better route.
But I mean, we talked about it last week. Raw going down to 2 hours, October to December, will give us a nice respite. But from January, we're going to have 6 hours of Raw and SmackDown. Forget the hour or two of NXT on a Wednesday, Tuesday, and then AEW to watch as well. We might not be able to record this podcast. We may run out of time from watching wrestling. So much wrestling to watch.
Why is there so much wrestling content? Because bear in mind, when you just arrived, I was having to play catch up.
Yeah, that's it. There's so much wrestling going on. But I mean, that can only be good, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's move into the last piece of news this week then, which is more wrestling.
More wrestling?
Even more wrestling. So the 14th of December, WWE's Saturday night's main event will return, and it'll simulcast on NBC and Peacock. So Saturday night's main event back on NBC. Last seen around the late noughties, I believe.
It was in the noughties.
Early 2010s, late noughties.
Bring it back briefly. I think it was.
Yeah, they did bring it back briefly.
Yeah,
around when DX was back together.
Yeah, I think it was.
And then previously to that, obviously, way back, WWF's golden era, there were Saturday night's main events on NBC then as well.
Which was good. Good primetime TV.
Absolutely. And I really like the graphic for this. I think the logo they've done is really cool.
Kept it a bit traditional.
Yeah, I really like that Saturday night's main event's back, because what it gives us is just a special. It gives us a special and not a pay-per-view special. Just gives us something else to build to just before Christmas as well, 14th of December. I think it'll be really good. I actually really look forward to that. I would rather have specials dropped in like that than more consistent hours of wrestling in the week.
Right, so are you on about like special episodes of certain events and everything, just on different nights?
Yeah, I would rather have specials than regular extra hours. So for me, a 2 hour Raw and a 2 hour SmackDown is preferable, with a Saturday night's main event chucked in occasionally.
Yeah.
Than a compulsory weekly 3 hours of Raw, 3 hours of SmackDown.
Because straight away, and I feel sorry for the writers.
I mean, I don't, because I imagine they get paid really well.
No, I feel sorry for the writers because they've got to make the content, but I'm jealous of their pay.
Absolutely. And that is this week's news. Shall we move on to a review of this week's wrestling shows?
Yes, we shall.
Start with AEW?
Let's start with AEW.
Take it away, Matt Burns.
Because straight off the bat, I'm just going to hit it off. The whole Blackpool Combat Club. They are teasing that angle really, really well.
Okay.
Especially with the fact that you've got next week, Wheeler Yuta has got to come back to tag with the others.
Oh, okay.
To defend the 6-man.
And this is on the back of what we missed last week, actually, which is where Wheeler Yuta was. He had a bit of a moment when Daniel Bryan's name.
Better yet, not just then. It's also this week as well.
Oh, okay. So talk us through these then.
Anybody who mentions that, if you are watching Wheeler Yuta, if you're against Wheeler Yuta, do not mention, Bryan Danielson. Don't.
Why? What happens?
It's almost like trying to punch, Hogan when he's hulking up.
Oh,
it just doesn't work.
Okay, so hold on. Psst, Wheeler Yuta. If you're listening to this, Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson.
No! Because
Oh my God, he's running down the street.
yeah, he's coming for you. But anyway, the point being is, he has been absolutely on fire. Now, this is put us in a realm of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because right now, next week, which is Grand Slam.
Yeah.
So we've also got the speak of Bryan Danielson being back.
Yeah.
Is this going to be the time where Yuta either signs off with Bryan, or is it going to be revealed that he has finally been brainwashed?
To go with the Bullet Club, yeah, or to stay with the Bullet Club.
To stay with the Blackpool.
Blackpool Combat Club, sorry.
Yeah.
Too many clubs.
Yeah, too many. BCC.
Yeah, wow, that's yeah.
I know. It's a bit close, but I'll avoid that.
Okay.
But anyway, point being is, Park is on fire. Just there saying, don't let us down. Step up, turn up, show us your stuff. You're better than this, and you've got Claudio sitting there saying, "I taught you better than this."
Oh, okay.
Come on, you should be better than this. You should be, but then you've got, you've then got.
So
Mox.
Yuta's really conflicted then.
Oh, massively. Mox coming in, sitting there saying, "Be there, don't be there. It's up to you, but step up to your destiny." Come on. And the fact is, I feel as though this group is just getting off the ground really well. And to make the added pin on it, this interview segment came after the vicious attack that happened in the ring, where I believe one member of Private Party ended up leaving with an injury, a hand injury, from having a lump hammer slammed into his hand, courtesy of Mox.
Wow. And
what made it even weirder is Moxley's way of saying, justifying this. You're sitting there saying, where have you been, Private Party, since you've been here since the start? Where have you been? You're actually worse off than when you started.
Wow.
You've got no adversity. I'm here to build up your adversity. So right now, quite frankly, you should be thanking me for this. Slam!
Wow. So he Negan'd him, basically.
Pretty much. He just Negan. I'm like, did that? No.
Anything else from AEW this week?
I've got to mention it. Cowboys fighting.
Yes, Cowboys fighting. Let's talk about my favourite wrestler, Double J.
We'll get to that. Well, Hangman Adam Page.
Ooh. He's not my favourite.
No. He's literally saying he's on the top. He's going to make sure he keeps Swerve buried and down and everything. And, he's the only cowboy that should be around.
Yeah.
As he's going on, you knew when entrance music was going to be coming into play.
He doesn't use his best entrance music anymore, though, does he? He doesn't use the My World theme from TNA, does he?
Yes, he does.
Does he?
Come running down to My World!
Yes, love that.
I was like, yes! come darting in. And I will say, they really treated this really carefully.
Really?
And I will say, they got Hangman Adam Page straight out, even, you've got Jeff Jarrett, Double J.
Yeah.
Even his own friends saying, whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's like, I want him, I'm going to kill him. And you can see the fight, and eventually, he's got it to the point where he just grabs the mic and just says, at some point, anytime, anywhere, the last outlaw, Double J Jeff Jarrett, is going to be absolutely kicking your... And that's where I'm leaving it.
Wow. Do you know what? I think we should bury alive Matt Byrne's American accent.
I wasn't even aiming for American accents.
Fantastic. Anything else for AEW this week? Love to hear about Double J, man.
Oh no, honestly, it's fiery, it's everything, and automatically we've got the Don Callis family against the Elite.
Yeah.
Which, to me, I thought was going to be, finally let the the villains get some comeuppance. Nope.
No.
Nope. The Don Callis family went over.
Oh, wow.
With Kyle Fletcher pinning one half of the tag team champions.
Oh, okay. Surprising then, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was. But, the weird thing about it is you got Konosuke with Ospreay. You can see that the little bit of rival between them.
Okay.
But at the same time, I feel as though Konosuke needs to ease off Will and focus on a certain Okada. Because them pair, whenever they interact with each other, I'm like, yes, more of that, please.
Yeah.
That's AEW. If you do not book that match, I will be furious.
And that's the thing with AEW, right? Tony Cotton said it this week. He said he says they've got the best roster in the world because they've got dream matches, endless amounts of dream matches within the roster. I don't know if I agree with that, but certainly that one is one that we're waiting for.
And don't we find it weird that you just said dream there? The fact that their next event is Wrestle Dream.
Oh, there you go. See,
Nice little segue there.
nice.
But straight away, automatically, let's move straight across to Rampage.
Okay.
The only segments that I can probably cover on there is the Yuta, which we've already covered.
Yeah.
And apologies if I butcher your name. Saraya,
Paige, formerly known as Paige,
has made the challenge to Jamie Hayter,
Okay.
which she's made her own match rules match.
Yeah.
There's the challenge, which Jamie blindly goes, whatever, I'll beat you in anything. Okay, done. So it came to Collision to announce it.
Yeah.
What are the rules? In short term, I'm not going to go through that entire segment. Basically, one side's got all rights to go all out, pretty much.
So Soraya's got no DQ, basically.
Pretty much, can do anything. Oh, can even have outside friends as long as they're friends with her.
Yeah.
And Jamie Hayter's got nothing.
Nice.
I won't mention Rule 8.
No.
Because it's definitely not PG.
Okay.
Definitely not.
And was that it for Rampage this week?
For Rampage, yes.
Right, so what about Collision?
Collision, thank you for stepping up. Thank you for stepping up, Collision. Because straight away, they are introducing segments after segments to build up certain feuds.
Okay, so we're doing some building, which is good.
Yeah. One of the main ones I wanted to bring up, it was to do with Bryan Danielson.
Okay.
Straight away, who's he up against? A certain individual named Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah, so we're expecting this at
Grand Slam.
Grand Slam, yeah.
Yeah. Nigel was not gentle.
No.
No. He never is. He's demanding it to be answered.
Oh, his challenge, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. He wants it answered. And if he doesn't get it answered, he's basically just going to say, you're a coward, retire.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah.
So we are getting more. But then the only issue I have with this week of Collision, right, is the tag match, the bunkhouse match.
Yeah.
For the ROH World Tag Team titles.
Okay.
Why is it on Collision?
Well, I mean, why are the...
Yeah.
Which tag team titles are these?
ROH.
Yeah, I mean, we keep talking about the ROH titles. It's come up a few times now. I just don't get it. I don't get the brand exposure thing.
Yeah.
I don't get why AEW have Ring of Honor title defences on the show.
Yeah. And it's coming to the point where, for me, it's just not... It's not working.
Yeah. Just focus on your own championships and make them mean something. Because right now, none of the tag team championships mean anything because everyone's a tag team champion. We've got 6-man tag titles or trios tag titles in Ring of Honor. We've got trios tag champions in AEW.
Yeah.
We've got tag team champions in Ring of Honor. We've got tag team champions in AEW. And we've got women's tag team champions as well.
And second tier.
And second tier.
Yeah.
What, and women's?
Yeah.
And Ring of Honor.
It's not in Ring of Honor yet.
Madness.
They might be. I don't know, but
Madness. How is anybody a champion if everyone's a champion? I don't get it.
yeah. But anyway, so we've got Dustin Rhodes who with Sammy Guevara defeating the Undisputed Era in the Bunkhouse Brawl, which okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But then after we've got Sammy Guevara challenging Okada for his Continental Championship, but we already know how we feel about the Continental Championship already.
Yeah.
I will say Britt Baker they revealed that she's going to be making a comeback for the 5th anniversary of AEW
Okay.
Dynamite, which is going to be interesting to just see what she's got to install because of the whole current events with her and Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Because they may have legitimately split up. Now, that's either going to be the announcement of that, or it's going to be a major announcement for a new step or something. But I'm interested. I'm interested to see what it is. One side, I will say, one team that we haven't spoken about for a bit, the Acclaimed.
Okay.
Seems to be in a feud with MXM Collection.
And this is Mansoor and Marseille.
Yeah.
Formerly of Max Dupree's Maximum Male Models.
Yes.
With the now LA Knight.
Yes. Yeah. You remember them, right? They've decided to steal Max's jacket and spruced it up.
Okay.
It looked like they're about to reveal it and go, no. It's not ready for now. You will see it at Grand Slam. Sort of hyping it up, which, okay, it's fine. It's cheesy. I will say, that tag team is cheesy as hell. It'll make me laugh.
Yeah, okay.
Enough said. Darby Allin was also on this week with Evil Uno.
Yeah.
Sitting there saying, hang on, not being funny, Evil Uno. You can sit there playing games and everything, but Mock's making a mockery of you.
Yeah.
He's making a mockery of you, saying, you ain't good enough. I ain't good enough. Here's the difference. You can sit there playing your games. I'm not gonna lay down and let him run me over. And that's me actually cleaning up the language.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Of course. But he literally just says, are you gonna just stand there and let me run you over? Because if you are, I'll make sure to use you as a speed bump.
Wow. There's loads of AEW this week then. Anything else on Collision?
Other than that, I believe that's the end of it.
I mean, I can't believe that. 15 minutes to go through AEW this week, so it must have been good to be picking all that stuff out.
There's plenty, but for me, my top storyline to be going through, my top two storylines has got to be Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness. Enough said.
Yeah.
And of course, mine and your favourites, The Last Outlaw.
Double J, baby.
Double J.
Right, okay, so let's move on to some WWE then. Just cover Raw and SmackDown again this week. I pressed my cough button this time. Apologies, like I said earlier on, I'm a bit under the weather this week.
You're recovering.
I am absolutely in recovery. CM Punk this week kicked off Raw, opening the night with a promo. It was a stern warning to Drew McIntyre. They've obviously got their upcoming Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood. Punk making it clear that the match would be career-changing, potentially career-ending for one of them. So we'll see what happens there.
Before you actually continue on from there, I can actually add on a little bit more to that.
Go on.
Because Drew actually put up a video of him watching that.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, on Twitter, on X.
That was genius.
Yeah, really, really good. They had his wife record the video.
Yeah,
fantastic. If you get a chance to find that on X, Drew McIntyre's account. Followed up on Raw by Pete Dunne versus Sheamus. Really hard-hitting match. Pete Dunne actually defeated Sheamus using a cricket bat to gain the upper hand and score a victory after, ensuring a bit of a Sheamus onslaught. Natalya defeated Zoe Stark, continuing that winning streak. It was, the veteran's technical skills that allowed her to pick up the win. There was a backstage segment with Jey Uso and Bron Breakker. Jey confronted Bron about their upcoming Intercontinental Championship match. They exchanged some heated words.
Heated? Are you joking there? I'm sorry, but that was literally a slaughter.
Yeah, and Jey speared Breakker, and it really escalated the tension there in their feud, if you like, mini feud. The WWE World Tag Team Championships were on the line with the Judgment Day versus the New Day. It was closely contested, but the Judgment Day retained the titles after interference from, the rest of the Judgment Day, if you like. Xavier Woods was really frustrated after the match and lashed out a bit at Kofi.
Well, there's actually a little bit more add-on to this again.
Yeah, so the LWO's involvement signalled some potential dissension, maybe the beginning of the end for the New Day.
It's not just that. There's also another additional hint from X as well. Because on X, you got Xavier frustration on X, sitting there saying, who knows, maybe I should just leave you in the dust and bring in some former friends.
Oh, there you go, see. Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed, it's a match that never really got started. The ring ropes broke early on. Strowman and Reed, massive brawl. They destroyed barricades and babies and all sorts of things. They didn't really destroy babies.
They didn't destroy babies and no yeeting this week.
But caused absolute havoc. The match ended in a no contest after both men were, and I'm being legit here, were taken out after a spear through a wall. That is legitimately how that ended. Sami Zayn made his case again for a World Heavyweight Championship match. He confronted Ludwig Kaiser and Gunter, demanding a title shot. Gunter refused again, and Zayn made it clear that he wasn't backing down. We had Io Sky versus Bianca Belair in a high-energy match, which Io Sky defeated Bianca. Both women displayed, incredible athleticism, but Io Sky managed to pull off the victory after a hard-fought contest. I'm expecting a tag team match between maybe Io Sky and Kairi Sane and
Jay
what do
Cargill?
we call them? Jay Cargill and Bianca Belair. Have they got a team name?
No, not yet.
Also, Jade Cargill is DLC for WWE 2K24.
Right, you beat me to it.
I've played with her today and I won the Elimination Chamber. Absolutely boss. Main event, Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio. Damian Priest defeated Dominic in the main event. Post-match, the Judgment Day attacked again. Mysterio and even Jey Uso attempted to save Dominic. Bron Breakker joined the fray and put Jey Uso down is the best way to put it. So the Judgment Day stood tall at the end of the night. So that was Raw. And if we move very quickly on to SmackDown, it opened with an absolute banger. Can't say enough good things about SmackDown this week. However good any of the AEW shows were, however good NXT was, however good Raw was, SmackDown was the show of the week for wrestling. And here's why. It opened with an absolute banger. LA Knight versus Andrade. LA Knight over with the BFT, Brute Force Trauma. Absolutely brilliant. Andrade showed respect after the match, but tensions escalated backstage when Carmelo mocked Andrade, which will lead to another match next week. And let's be fair, Carmelo versus Andrade is money, 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 so keep them coming.
Yeah, that I will say, they could do the infamous series back and forth with each other.
Yeah, and from maybe a match of the year candidate in LA Knight and Andrade was really, really good. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns faced off in a pre-record, in a pre-tape, but that might be the best 8 minutes of wrestling television this year. Unbelievable segment, and I tell you what it reminded me of. It was, I don't know if you watched The Boys, but it was like Vought presents WWE. It was really, really good.
I know exactly what you're on about, and the real thing about it is, what was so good is, you got that raw emotion.
Cinematic. It was cinematic. It was excellent. They both acted their socks off, and the line of Roman, "You're in my way."
Yeah.
And Cody got out of the way, and then Roman said, "In life, you're in my way in life." Fantastic.
Yeah.
After that, we got Apollo Crews versus Giovanni Vinci. Apollo Crews picked up his second quick victory over Vinci with the roll-up. Vinci was frustrated with the loss, and this time attacked Crews after the match. So again, we said, we don't know how this is going. We said, let it breathe. And then this week we get the same again, but this time with an attack, which shows a bit of ruthlessness from Vinci, which is what we're looking for.
And frustration.
Yeah, we're looking for character development, which we're getting. Then we had Kevin Owens and the Bloodline. Owens attempted to address the Reigns situation. He was interrupted by Tama Tonga, Tangaloa and Jacob Fatu. The confrontation led to a brawl. DIY came out to back up Owens, and Nick Aldis, the GM, booked a 6-man tag for the main event. Brilliant. Tornado tag match. Then we got Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi and Bayley. Really good match where it finished with Naomi and Bayley pinning Nia Jax. And obviously leading to a bit more shenanigans down the road and whoever gets a title shot.
Well, from there, straight away, you've got one-on-one number one contenders, which I have a feeling straight away Nia Jax is going to get involved in that, which is going to turn into a triple threat.
100%. And then the main event, Kevin Owens and the Street Profits versus the Bloodline. Wait, Scott, didn't you just say it was DIY? Yes, I did. DIY were taken out by the Bloodline, and the Street Profits came out to make the save and joined the match instead. After the chaotic match, Owens and his team emerged victorious, and it capped off the show with some real momentum heading towards Bad Blood. SmackDown was very, very good this week.
And the good thing about it is, with that whole segment, I know what you're thinking, you mentioned the Street Profits. Now, the reason why this might be a bit difficult to follow as well, why would the Street Profits get involved? A bit of a sidestep here quickly. NXT, because they went for the NXT Tag Team Championships, and the Bloodline cost them that.
Absolutely.
So this could be their way of trying. Hang on, we want a bit of revenge and stepping up, and unfortunately didn't get the result that they want. Well, it sort of went the way.
Yeah. And that is a really comprehensive look at this week's wrestling, much longer than we would normally go for this segment.
Normally.
Really, really good wrestling this week.
Really necessary, and for me, for this week, I think we should have at least a show pick, which one's the one to watch. And I think, and this is hands down, SmackDown was the one to watch this week.
SmackDown was the one to watch this week, 1000%. If nothing else, for the first two segments. So we're looking at LA Knight versus Andrade, excellent, and then the cinematic confrontation between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, unbelievable.
Now the only question is I'm just going to nip out to the shed and get the shovel right now.
Yeah, I think you should, because I think we need to bury something.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Buried alive, always say goodbye. Things we can't stand not today. Locked and gone in the ground, never to make another sound. It's buried alive.
Dearly beloved, welcome to Buried Alive, which is wrestling's version of Room 101.
Yeah, this is our Buried Alive segment, and this is where we pick something from wrestling, whether that be a character, a story arc, an angle, and we decide whether it should be buried alive for all time, never to be seen again.
Oh.
So far, we've had some good ones.
We've had some good ones.
What have we buried so far, Matt Burns?
Do we have to talk about them?
Yeah, let's talk about what we've buried so far.
Kennel from Hell.
Kennel from Hell has been buried alive. Prime Hydration Station hasn't yet. It's still on the board.
Yes, it's on the board. We've got the Katie Vick.
Katie Vick got buried alive. Backstage Brawls did not get buried alive.
No, it did not. And get ready. I'm sorry. I apologise because I went the last again. We got the It Wasn't My Fault segments, including Kicking the Baby segments.
Yeeting the Baby was buried alive.
It was buried alive. We got a lot there.
We did. And this week, Matt Burns, what are we talking about to be buried alive?
Well, this week, I believe, if I remember off the top of my head, we were covering...
Well, actually, firstly, it's probably worth saying thank you for the suggestions we've had. We've had literally more suggestions than we can deal with this week, which is brilliant.
Again?
And we picked... We asked Matt Burns to pick one that he thought most deserved to be buried alive. Well, and what did you pick out of the...
Well, technically, as much as you said it, most deserved, I had to put a blindfold on and just put names in a hat.
Okay.
Hat, let's go for it.
And what came out?
And what came out, I believe it was a certain way to finishing matches.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was the surprise roll-up.
The surprise roll-up finish.
Or, as a certain other individual who's got no hair says, the most devastating move in all of professional wrestling.
The most devastating move in all of professional wrestling. The surprise roll-up. It's probably won more matches than most finishes.
Definitely. Now, even I've got to say, I was conflicted with this one because... Shall I just announce my side of it already? I'm just going to announce it straight away. In regards to it, because we normally have a for and against.
We do.
I'm sorry, but this definitely should not be buried. This should not be buried.
Why?
I don't... Trust me when I say this, I don't think it should be buried. When a surprise roll is done right, it can be produced really well and cause that shock factor that can send waves across, an organisation if it's done right and get people going, oh wow, did that really happen? And it can be done in such a clean, crisp way. Or bear in mind, or would you want certain matches that are absolutely garbage be continuing on? Where you sit there, where you got Jim Cornette screaming down a PA, roll up, schoolboy, whatever, get the hell out of there.
So you think this should not be buried alive?
I do not think it should be buried alive. And yes, I'm already checking my pulse already.
I can't agree, Matt Burns, and I can't believe you of all people don't want to bury this, because I think it's lazy. And you don't like lazy wrestling, right?
I don't like lazy wrestling. No, I agree with you, but when it's in the right context, it isn't lazy writing.
And that's the problem. It feels like a cop-out when creative can't find a more satisfying way to end a match.
Correct, I agree with that. But the problem is, I don't think the actual issue is with the roll-up. I just think it's with the poor writing. So that's not the blame on the roll-up.
I don't think it builds tension. I don't think it makes anyone look strong. I think it often leaves both wrestlers looking weak and neither able to decisively beat the other. And that is my reason that it should go in the bin, I think, or it should be buried alive, because it dilutes the effectiveness of whatever you're trying to do. So if I surprise roll up you, I don't gain anything because I've done it quick and I haven't beaten you 1, 2, 3 with a decisive move, and you don't get anything from it because you haven't lost. You've quickly been nabbed.
Really? Do I have to bring up history lessons here? Go on. Do we have to bring up history lesson 101?
Come on, man. Let's listen to your history.
Bit of history. Well, bear in mind the fact that we had that carnival show, if you remember, that we were on. If we didn't have a certain roll up, we would have been still be there right now.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that lad did not want to finish that match, did he?
He really didn't want to finish that match. And I will say, I felt sorry for your tag team partner who kept getting yeeted over the crowd, through the tables.
And for that reason, I probably can't bury it alive, can I? Because otherwise I'd still be in that match.
We'd still be in that match today.
Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. We're not burying anything alive this week.
Hang on. I'm sorry, but no. I need to check your blood pressure again because I've actually successfully not buried something.
Yeah, we're not burying. We are not burying.
No, that's
this
it.
Week.
That's it. I'm sorry. We're burying something.
Okay.
It's about time.
What?
Hydration station.
Yeah, let's bury that.
Let's just bury that because I'm sorry, because no one's interacted with it lately. I'm sorry. It's got me more mad each week. Is the shovel quick enough, or shall we just get the JCB?
Get the JCB, mate.
Yeah, okay. Hang on. Screw it. I'll just get the shovel.
And that is buried alive.
Finally! We ain't got to worry about it anymore.
No. Let's do the top 3.
Do the top 3!
To the top 3! To the top 3! To the top 3! What will it be?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Top 3, where we each throw a topic to each other, where we have to decide on top 3 of it. Be it either good, bad, or in between.
In between.
In between. Who knows? But anyway, for this week, we know we keep going back and forth with each other. Now, normally we can be a bit mean with each other with this and be a bit gentle with this. I think I'm going to give you a bit of a good one.
Okay.
Because I feel as though this could actually produce some more content for down the road.
Okay.
Which is, what are your top 3 worst wrestling storylines?
Ooh. Right. Let's be honest here. You actually gave me a heads up on this earlier on.
I had to.
So I could have a really good think about it. Because it's quite broad, this, isn't it? Worst wrestling storylines.
Yeah.
And I've had a real good think about it, and I've picked 3. And I think I found the right answer. They are all WWE storylines. And I'm going to caveat this because I nearly picked the exploding deathmatch from AEW 2021.
Oh, that's bad.
Just because the finish of the match was terrible. But I decided not to. Decided to be kind. I also didn't pick David Arquette in WCW winning the WCW Championship.
Huh?
I stuck with WWE, and I wanted to pick 3 of my worst storylines from WWE. And here they are. Coming in hot at number 3 is Mr. McMahon's illegitimate son. Is it Mr. Kennedy? No. It's Hornswoggle. Terrible storyline.
Yeah, it was. I believe it was originally planned to be Mr. Kennedy, but due to certain situations that happened during that time, they couldn't do it.
Coming in at number 2, who remembers this pearly? Al Wilson, the father of Tori Wilson, and Dawn Marie.
Ooh.
Another terrible storyline from SmackDown, this time around the 2002-2003 time frame, and just an all-round terrible storyline.
Yeah, it almost gave me a heart attack.
Yeah, well, it did give him a heart attack. And number 1 for my worst ever storylines, you might have seen this coming, it's Mae Young gives birth to a hand. That is my number 1 worst storyline. And that doesn't deserve a womp womp womp. That just deserves Silence.
No, that deserves that. For me, that just deserves a ew.
Let's give a moment of silence for Dawn Marie's hand.
Dawn Marie?
Sorry, for Mae Young's hand. That's even worse. Dawn Marie gives birth to a hand.
I don't know how to feel about that.
I tell you what, let's give it a single clap, actually. So, there we go. Single clap. And they are my top 3 worst ever storylines. What do you think?
Oh,
How did I do? Did I miss any?
I'm surprised you didn't pick any of the ones that we've already buried.
They're buried alive.
Yeah, okay. I'm surprised you didn't bring up the storyline because I don't know if it had an actual angle or anything, the whole gobbledygooker situation.
I like the gobbledygooker. You're getting an insight into my personality there.
Okay. I can understand that. Piggy James?
Yeah, fair. Could have been there.
I think that was just wow.
Yeah, could have been there. I also nearly picked Triple H and Booker T from WrestleMania 19 for all sorts of reasons.
Oh, of course. But then I've got another one for Booker T and Edge, the hair commercial. The shampoo commercial.
Again, I thought that was good. I like the shampoo commercial.
I don't know, could have been, but I can see why you didn't pick it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it was so bad it was good.
Yeah. Any others that I missed, do you think?
I don't know how to feel about some of the certain storylines that they had in TNA, because there was one involving AJ.
Yeah.
Involving, which was just Nightmare Fuel. Which,
Was that Claire Lynch?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not going to go there. No, don't want to talk about it. And whatever you do, please, whatever, don't suggest that for future. I don't want to be covering that again.
I'll tell you what I do want to know, though. I want to know everybody else's top 3 worst wrestling storylines. Tag us on X. You can put it in there. Let's use the hashtag TBT Live UK and let us know what your 3 worst wrestling storylines are, because we want to know genuinely, and it might give us extra fodder for Buried Alive going forward. So
yeah, that's why I thought to myself I'd go with that one, because straight away we've got more fuel there.
Yeah, and now I suppose it's time to let you all know, in case you didn't know already, that we've been entrusted with a book. We've been trusted with the book.
The book. Who gave it to us?
Who trusted these guys with the book? It's rebook this. Larry's draw. It's rebook this. Take a shot. It's rebook this. Rebook this.
Yes, big boy. It's now time for Rebook This. Rebook This is our segment where we challenge each other to rebook a storyline from wrestling past that we think we can do better. And you've got the pencil this week, Matt Burns. You have the pencil. And this week, I would like you to rebook for me the Matt Hardy Will Not Die storyline, which is my name for, or everyone's name for, the storyline that was around Matt Hardy's return after the infamous Matt Hardy, Lita, Edge situation, where Matt Hardy got fired following Lita and Edge's affair.
Yeah,
which led to Matt Hardy's return and then a feud on television.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe this was the segment that was before we got into the segment where it went from Lita and Kane and Edge.
Correct, yeah.
Which I believe from before that I'm just trying to think. Before that, it was the a certain thing that we buried last week.
The Snitsky thing, yes.
So have you just done this as like a bit of a continuation of it?
Yeah, what would you do next? Absolutely.
Right. Now, for me, I think the firing was unnecessary.
Okay.
It was wrong, but I also understand why.
Okay.
Because Matt went out of his way to bring up personal stuff on WWE television where it should have been behind closed doors. So, yeah, they could have had a bit of a reason for it, but at the very least, they should have actually had a discussion with it and gone through proper channels and everything, potentially. Now, the question is, I feel as though we still need the firing. As much as...
So that happened, yeah? That happened?
That happened. Because I feel as though this added more fuel to the fire, because if he was still in the company...
It wouldn't have been an issue.
It wouldn't have been as big as it got. It added a bit more fuel to, more fuel to the flames.
Yeah.
Because you got Matt going on to bite this, throwing out abuse towards Lita, or as he kept calling her, Amy.
Yeah.
And bringing up the fact that he was in ROH and everything. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Completely different. when it comes to him coming back, I think the perfect time is literally because we've just got it where Edge has dealt with Kane.
Yep.
Enters Matt Hardy, who finally comes through. Now, this is why I'm finding it a bit difficult, because it's a difficult storyline, because I feel as though they actually portrayed it so perfectly.
Yeah, okay.
Me personally, I thought they actually, for what they got out of it, they shouldn't. I feel it's going to be difficult to rewrite it, rebook it.
Okay.
Because I feel as though everybody got what they wanted out of it.
Really?
To a degree.
Okay.
To a degree. But, well, everyone got out of it what they could in the best way possible. But what I would have done is probably given Matt a little bit more. A little bit more.
Okay.
Sort of. But instead of it being the way that we went, I feel as though when Matt come back, he was attacking and everything. And I wouldn't have had the announcement be revealed straight away.
Okay.
That he was coming back. I would have had Matt, sort of make it look like he's invading. He's actually invading WWE to get Edge and Lita.
Okay.
He's willing to do anything. Now, to some degree, some people could sit there and say, would that make Edge the face and Matt the heel? No, because people weren't stupid during that time.
Yeah, we're talking 05, so
Yeah.
the internet was a thing. You know what I mean?
The internet
news
was around.
out there.
The news was out there. We all knew what was going on. So, but I feel as though for him to, it would have been interesting to see if he could change how he was getting in.
Yeah.
Each time, for each week, for each time he was encountering him.
Yeah.
Do something different. Disguises, buying a ticket.
Yeah.
All the above. Just to get access to them. To bring the hatred. Now, the question is, would we bring somebody in with Matt? Potentially. I'm going to say, for now, not female-wise. I think the only other person that they could have brought back with him is Jeff. But I believe, was he around at the time?
I don't believe so.
He wasn't around, because I think he might be in rehab, so they couldn't bring him back. So that's where it's a bit tough. I feel as though, do you know the match that ended up short in the feud? The one where Matt got busted open and was bleeding?
Okay, yeah.
I would erase that moment. Because I feel as though that gave a bit... As much as it gave Edge plenty of heat and everything, I feel as though that was a bit too far.
That was the SummerSlam match, wasn't it? Where he'd been slammed into the ring steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt as though that gave too much... More of a lean towards Edge.
Okay.
As much as it is, I would have had Lita involved somehow.
Okay.
I would still have had the same result, but I still want to go down the extreme violent route.
Okay.
Because it's still a 2-on-1 situation.
Yeah.
But then I would have built it up, and I would have eventually, at some point, had Kane come back into the picture.
Really? So the next thing after that happened in real life, I believe, was the cage match at Unforgiven.
Yeah.
But you'd have brought Kane back in around that time.
I would have been bringing in Kane, and the question is, do we have Kane siding with Matt, or do we have a love a bit of a three-way between, for Lita's affection?
Okay. Right, okay. Got you.
Because straight away there, that could produce some different ideas, because Kane wouldn't exactly side with Matt.
Yeah.
And Matt wouldn't side with Kane, especially with him being, chokeslammed off the stage.
Yeah.
And Edge is not going to agree with either of them.
Yeah.
Because he's and everything. Now, instead of doing the whole loser leaves,
which is what they did, loser leaves Raw.
Yeah. Well, potentially they could still do that. Potentially.
So in real life, Matt already won the cage match.
Yes.
Unforgiven. But then Edge won the loser leaves Raw match.
Yeah.
Edge went on to win the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yep.
And Matt already went over to SmackDown.
Yes. I still think that could still happen. The only different of the caveat is we've got Kane in it. It wouldn't have been a ladder match.
No.
I would have literally just said to them, I would have had the management say, I'm sick and tired of this whole love triangle. Something's got to give. one of you, there's too many. There's too many fighting over one individual. We need to get rid of one of you. So, set up a match, triple threat, basically between the three of them.
Yeah.
And what I would have done is probably, as much as not everyone, as much as Kane might have not have liked Edge for stealing, supposedly stealing his, but who did he hate more? That's the real question. The question is who would Kane side with? I would either go down the route of either having Kane turning on, literally taking out Matt,
yeah,
to let Edge claim the victory, because essentially, if Lita's so happy with Edge, let her get on with it. He's had enough.
Okay.
So that means he can move away from Lita.
Yeah.
Right? That ties up the loose end between Kane and Edge.
Yeah.
He chokeslams Matt to oblivion.
Yeah.
Costs him the match. So he eats the pinfall.
Okay.
From Edge. 1, 2, 3. But the only stake I am added in here is we can make out like whoever wins the match gets the services of Lita.
Right, okay. So you would have gone down that route.
Yeah. That's the only way I can think of. It can be rebooked, and I know it might not be better.
It's certainly an interesting take. I'm not sure if it would have been better or not, but I'm trying to lay it out in my head. I think you've gone down the route of that Matt's obsession was changed. So initially, Matt was all about revenge.
No,
whereas in your storyline, it's all about winning Lita back.
No, it's not, because my idea was for him to still win her back and then just say, rip up,
Oh, I don't want you.
I don't want you, because then that could be the ultimate.
Okay. But he wouldn't have won anyway.
No.
Okay.
You get the idea.
Yeah. Okay. Right. If you think you can rebook Matt Hardy Must Not Die better than Matt Burns,
which I'm pretty sure many could do better than me, but
let us know in the comments. We're really interested to hear your take. You can email info@theburningtruthuk.com or leave us a comment on YouTube, leave us a comment on Spreaker, or you can leave us a tweet at TBT Live UK.
Or you can even leave a comment even on Spotify now.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, absolutely. So, leave your comments.
Leave your comments. We will be hearing out. So,
well, that's a wrap for episode 339 of The Burning Truth Live.
Yep.
Thanks so much for joining today. I hope you had as much fun listening as we've had recording. If you want to keep the conversation going, you can find us on Twitter at TBT Live UK, Instagram at The Burning Truth, Facebook at The Burning Truth, and YouTube at The Burning Truth 251. Got any questions or ideas? You can drop us an email at info@theburningtruthuk.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. That 5-star review really makes a difference to the algorithm and helps spread the word. So please leave us a review if you can, and check out our website, theburningtruthuk.com, for more updates.
And of course, until next time, stay positive, keep enjoying the wrestling, and we will catch you on the next episode of The Burning Truth Live.
Excelsior!